Everyone, Dan McTeague, President, Canadians for Affordable Energy. Always willing to talk to you about topics that will help make life a lot easier for Canadians by making energy more affordable and making sure our politicians and the policies we have reflect the needs of the country today, not in 2015 and not based on some organization somewhere in Europe and Davos or wherever that tells us what is in our best interest. For Canadians, I think the priorities have to be very clear. You're going to approve projects. The Prime Minister said he wants to approve them, wants to make Canada an energy superpower. There's a number of things he needs to do, but first and foremost, he should be approving pipelines. And in particular, our position on getting the Energy East pipeline approved. That's one thing, but he also has to place emphasis on the Northern Gateway pipeline, which was scuppered by the previous Liberal government back in 2016, 2017, foolishly, because the world, not just the Chinas, the South Koreas, the Japans, want our energy, especially in Asian markets. And there is a ready market for Canadian crude, not just south of the border, where the American refineries have been reconfigured to take heavy slates of oil because their light, tight shale oil doesn't make very good diesel. And you need diesel to run your economy, not gasoline. I think the Americans have realized this. But for us to continue down this road of ignoring what needs to be done, that's to approve the Northern Gateway, I think becomes a first order priority for the Carney government. And to make its point, to prove that it's not just talking as it has done for the past several months about projects, it has to get rid of Bill C-69. That's the bill that saddles any application for a pipeline with a number of requests that have very little to do with the actual business of moving petrochemicals, hydrocarbons from one region of Canada to the world. That, of course, is the impact assessment analysis, which created a Bill C-69, and the effect has been very telling. It stopped any interest by anybody to build any kind of project dealing with hydrocarbons anywhere in Canada. So while the rest of the world is building LNG, building out pipelines, building their infrastructure, Canada has stultified its ability to attract investments and capital to make these things happen, while at the same time denying Canadians the prosperity that comes with, and that's not just for Canadians, Indigenous people within Canada. It's every generation that could be benefited by this. The Mark Carney government has a choice: either can continue to do nothing and be whipsawed by the Donald Trumps of this world who are taking advantage of our weakness, or could stand up and say, if the Americans don't want our oil, someone else will, and we'll continue to prosper as a nation. We will diversify our economy. We will diversify our trade, but you don't do it by killing pipelines or not resurrecting the ones that could be used very quickly and are at our disposal if we decide to make this decision happen. But first and foremost, time for the federal government to get off the can and get rid of the impact assessment analysis, which is crazy. It has no other effect other than to micromanage a project in ways and to add conditions to the approval of those projects, which no country in the world would dare take, much less investors. So in very simple terms, when Parliament comes back, I'm expecting the next 4 weeks, we hear from the Liberal Mark Carney government that they undo the damage of the Trudeau Liberal government, and that's to get Northern Gateway built and to propose a fast track to seeing its realization over the next couple of years. And as a first order of business, even with the budget, which we desperately need in this country, get rid of Bill C-69 and get the economy up and running again.